There are now just 4 teams remaining after the NFL divisional playoffs. This Sunday, both the NFC and AFC championship game will be played to determine who will be competing for Super Bowl 55. We will give you all the highlights of the NFL divisional playoffs. We start with the Packers versus Rams. The Packers are hosting the Rams in the NFC divisional playoffs. Green Bay was the favorite to win and also had the top seed in the NFC. LA opened up the game going 3 and out and having to punt the ball. The NFC North champs would have a nice 12-play drive only to get 3 points on their first possession. Mason Crosby would get a 24-yard chip shot. In the second quarter, the Packers and Rams were tied, but Green Bay would score on a 1-yard pass from Aaron Rodgers to Devonta Adams to go up 10-3. The Packers score again before the half on a 1-yard rush by Aaron Rodgers. The Rams did score in the first half from a Jared Goff TD pass. The Packers would have a 19-10 lead at the break. The Packers got rolling as Aaron Jones would score to open the half as Green Bay took a 25-10 lead. They missed the 2-point conversion, so the game remained 25-10. Late in the third quarter, LA would find the end zone on an 11-play drive that would end on a 7-yard touchdown by rookie Cam Akers. However, the Packers would seal the game with a touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers to Allen Lazard late in the fourth quarter. The Rams could not score again as they would fall to Green Bay 32-18 in the second round of the divisional playoffs. Aaron Rodgers was 23 of 36 for 296 yards and a score. Aaron Jones had 99 yards on the ground and 1 TD. Allen Lazard had 4 receptions for 96 yards and 1 tutty. On the other side, Jared Goff was 21 of 27 for 174 yards and 1 touchdown. Cam Akers rushed for 90 yards and 18 attempts. And last but not least, Josh Reynolds had 65 yards receiving. Ravens versus Bills. The battle of the 2018 quarterback draft class. Buffalo is hoping to get to the AFC Championship game for the first time since 1994. While the Ravens were trying to reach the AFC Championship game for the first time since 2013, the game was expected to be a high-scoring and a duel between 2 great young quarterbacks. However, that was not the case. It would be a crazy 3-3 game and a half. To be even more crazy, Justin Tuck for the Ravens missed 2 field goals after just missing 1 in his entire postseason career. The Bills kicker Tyler Bass would also miss a field goal in the wind because the wind was super strong in the game. To open the second half, Buffalo would drive down the field and score a touchdown as Josh Allen found Stephon Diggs to go up 10-3. On the ensuing possession, Baltimore drove down the field. It looked like they were going to score and tie the game, but Lamar Jackson would throw a pick six as Tyron Johnson would go 101 yards to take a 17-3 lead in this third quarter. In fact, it would be the tie for the longest pick six in NFL playoffs history. The Ravens' next possession would be much worse as Ravens center would snap the ball over the reigning MVP's head, resulted in an incompletion. It kept on getting worse, though. The Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson went down with a concussion. The Ravens had troubles with snapping the ball the whole game and maybe even the entire year. They might need a new center for next season. He did not return for the rest of the game. Buffalo would hold on and advance to the AFC Championship game with a 17-3 victory over the Ravens. Josh Allen was 23 of 37 for 206 yards and 1 touchdown pass. Devin Singletary had 25 yards on the ground. Stephon Diggs had 106 yards receiving and 1 touchdown. For the Ravens, Lamar Jackson was 14 of 24 for 162 yards and 1 interception. Gus Edwards rushed for 42 yards and 10 carries. Marquise Hollywood Brown had 4 receptions for 87 yards. Browns versus Chiefs. The Cleveland Browns versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Browns, just a week ago, upset their rival, the Steelers. On the other side, the Chiefs had been off a few weeks after clinching the top spot in the AFC playoffs in Week 16. The game started off with the reigning Super Bowl champions dominating. On the opening drive of the game, Patrick Mahomes would run it in for a touchdown to go up 6-0. On the Browns' opening possession, they took it down on a 12-play drive that resulted in 3 points. Late in the first quarter, Mahomes would score another touchdown pass, as this time he would find his all-pro tight end Travis Kelce. Kansas City took a 19-3 lead at half. Cleveland was driving late in the second quarter, but fumbled in the end zone that resulted in a touchback. The Chiefs would get the ball as a result of the play. Even though that has been a rule for a while now, it's still very controversial, and many fans think it should be changed. To start the second half, Tyrann Mathieu would pick off Baker Mayfield. However, the Chiefs, strangely, would not take advantage of it because they would miss a field goal from Harrison Butker. Kansas City would not take advantage, as we said, of the turnover. The next drive, the Browns scored as Baker Mayfield threw a touchdown pass to his number 1 receiver, Jarvis Landry. Things could not get worse for the AFC West champions, as their best player in the league and reigning Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes, would leave the game with a concussion, and he would not return for the rest of the contest. The Chiefs would end up getting a field goal to go up 22-10. The veteran Chad Henne would take the place of Patrick Mahomes. Cleveland would score again in the fourth quarter as Kareem Hunt would find the end zone. The Chiefs' lead had been cut to 5, and right when you thought Kansas City could finish the Browns, Henne threw an ill-advised interception. The Browns had a shot to beat the Chiefs in Kansas City, but they would go 3-and-out, and the Chiefs held on to win, thanks in large part to a 14-yard scramble by Chad Henne and then a 4-down conversion as Tyreek Hill would have a 5-yard reception to seal the win for Kansas City. Final score: the Chiefs 22, the Browns 17. Patrick Mahomes was 21 of 30 for 255 yards and 1 touchdown pass. Darrell Williams had 78 yards on rushing on 13 attempts. All-Pro wide receiver Tyreek Hill finished with 8 receptions for 110 yards. The Bucs versus Saints. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers took on the New Orleans Saints for the final game of the NFL divisional playoffs in 2021. It was the battle of the ageless quarterbacks. Brady is 43 and Drew Brees is 42. The combined age for both of them, it's 85. Crazy. New Orleans took down Tampa Bay twice this season and swept them. So as you can tell, New Orleans was the favorite to win. The game started off pretty slow for both teams. Tampa punted on their first 2 possessions, while the Saints got 2 field goals to go up 6-0. In the second quarter, the Saints would draw up a trick play. Jameis Winston came in for Drew Brees and threw a 56-yard touchdown pass to Traquan Smith. Winston was filling in for Taysom Hill, who was inactive for the game. Taysom Hill mostly is used as a gadget player for the Saints. Early in the second quarter, Brady would find Mike Evans in the end zone on a 3-yard touchdown pass to take advantage of a Drew Brees interception. The Buccaneers got a field goal in the final possession to tie the game at 13. To begin the second half, Drew Brees would throw a touchdown pass to Traquan Smith to go up 20-13. However, the Saints would end up turning the ball over 4 times in the game. In the third quarter, the Buccaneers would drive a 5-play drive that would end in a Tom Brady touchdown pass to Leonard Fournette. In the fourth quarter, Tampa would drive it down and get their first lead of the game, or first lead of the second half. Late in the game, Drew Brees would throw another interception that would put Tampa up by 10 after Brady would run it in for a touchdown. The Buccaneers would end up holding on to beat the Saints 30-20. Tom Brady was 18 of 33 for 199 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Leonard Fournette rushed for 63 yards and 17 carries. Cameron Brate had 3 receptions for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. For the Saints, Drew Brees was 19 of 34 for 134 yards, 1 touchdown, and a not-so-great 3 interceptions. Alvin Kamara rushed for 85 yards. Traquan Smith finished with 85 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. This could have been Drew Brees' final game in the NFL. After the game was over, Drew Brees and Tom Brady were seen on the field talking to each other. Brees' family was also down the field, and Tom Brady even threw a pass to one of Drew Brees' kids. Thanks for listening to the Sports Town Podcast, or the STP Pod for short. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and much more. We release new episodes every Wednesday and Friday. Also, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Sports Town Podcast. If you want to check out more videos of the Sports Town Podcast, click on the left. If you want to subscribe to the channel, click on the right.